Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lori Snyder-Vanier, and I'm the Standback Dean of the Nicholas School of the Environment, and it's my great honor and privilege to welcome you to the Nicholas School of the Environment's 2025 recognition ceremony. Woo! All right. And welcome to all of our family and friends who are joining us here in person and on the live stream remotely from around the world. Congratulations to our graduating students and to their families and friends who've supported them in their journey to reach this momentous occasion. Join me in extending a round of applause to all those who supported you on this journey here today. This is a joyous day where we get a chance to brag on you all and celebrate all of your amazing accomplishments over the last 2 or 3 years. It's important to take time to mark these special moments because tomorrow, or maybe next week, or maybe next month, your next adventure begins. And that adventure will bring new joys and new challenges, and it feels appropriate to recognize that while the issues that you came to the Nicholas School to study, climate change, biodiversity loss, environmental health, forestry, marine science, remain as important as ever, we are in a political moment where those issues are not going to be the focus on the federal agencies in Washington, D.C. So how do we make progress in these times? So if you ask your favorite search engine or AI tool to come up with a historical example of change being made against the odds, and that's the only prompt you give it, you will inevitably get one of 3 cases. I tried, so I know. Mahatma Gandhi, the U.S. Civil Rights Movement, or Nelson Mandela. And those are great stories, but you all know those stories. I wanted a less obvious example, ideally one that involves the environment, and as a woman, even more ideally one that maybe involves a woman. So today, I want to tell you the story of Alice Hamilton and her fight to secure worker safety from toxic pollutants. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the landscape of American cities was often choked with pollution from factories and dominated by powerful industrial interests. The air in places like Pittsburgh and Chicago was thick with soot, and rivers ran murky with industrial waste. The idea of challenging these powerful corporations and demanding cleaner air and water seemed like a David and Goliath battle with almost no chance of success. Enter Alice Hamilton. Born in 1869, she followed the path expected of young women of a certain class. She completed her high school education at the Miss Porter's Finishing School for young ladies. But that is where the expected path came to an end for Alice. She attended the University of Michigan Medical School and graduated in 1893. She became a pioneer in the field of industrial toxicology. Unlike many of her peers who focused on individual diseases, Hamilton became deeply concerned about the widespread illness affecting industrial workers, illnesses often dismissed as simply part of the job. Armed with relentless curiosity and a deep sense of social justice, Hamilton ventured into factories, mines, and smelters across the United States. This was the late 1800s, and she was a woman. Okay, so this was dangerous and unwelcoming places for her to be, let alone somebody asking uncomfortable questions about the health of workers. Factory owners and managers, powerful figures in their communities, often denied any link between their operations and the sicknesses plaguing their employees. The odds were stacked against her. Limited scientific understanding of industrial toxins, powerful economic interests resisting regulation, and societal norms that often dismiss the concerns of the working class, particularly immigrant laborers. Yet Hamilton persisted. She meticulously documented cases of lead poisoning, arsenic poisoning, and other industrial illnesses. She interviewed workers, often in their homes, piecing together the connections between their work environments and their ailments. She faced skepticism from the medical community, resistance from industry, and the sheer difficulty of proving causation in a complex industrial world. Despite these immense challenges, Hamilton's rigorous research and unwavering advocacy began to gain traction. Her groundbreaking studies provided irrefutable evidence of the dangers workers faced. She published her findings in medical journals, lectured widely, and tirelessly advocated for better working conditions and regulations to protect workers' health. Slowly, painstakingly, the tide began to turn. Her work contributed significantly to the passage of the first workers' compensation laws in the United States and laid the foundation for the field of occupational health. While the fight for safe workplaces continues, Alice Hamilton's early battles against seemingly insurmountable odds demonstrate that even the most powerful industrial forces could be challenged and that the health and well-being of ordinary workers were worth fighting for. I share this story, Alice Hamilton's story, because it reminds us that change, even against powerful and entrenched interests, is possible through dedication, rigorous investigation, and the courage to speak truth to power, even when your voice seems small. And collectively, our voice is not small. You graduate officially on Sunday, okay, and you'll join the over 7,000 Nicholas School alumni who, like modern-day Alice Hamiltons, are working to improve the earth and the welfare of the people and ecosystems that call Earth home. You will also be joining nearly 200,000 Duke alumni worldwide. You are now part of that powerful, and I might add, really fun club, and I encourage you to take full advantage of it. Across the globe, there'll be regular regional alumni events that provide you with an opportunity to engage and stay connected. Over the years, it's been my privilege to work closely with the Duke Alumni Association and attend many regional events. I can honestly say that the power of this network is unmatched, right? And I maybe went to Harvard, but Duke's is better. You earned a degree, you paid a lot of money, not to mention a lot of time, sweat, and tears over those GIS assignments or the modeling or any of the other classes that you took. Lifetime access to an amazing community of alums might be the most valuable of your Duke assets. It's also where your small voice can be elevated and expanded to make impact. Today we gather to celebrate your hard work and to honor this community of amazing scholars and humans. To help me celebrate your achievements, I'm joined today by our inspiring faculty who supported all of you in your respective journeys. They're seated to the side of the stage, and they'll join me on stage at a later time. But for a moment, let's give a round of applause to our amazing faculty. We also have, it says some, but nearly all of our unflappable staff are here today to help us with the various events that we're having over this day and throughout the weekend. And I know you all agree with me that our work would grind to a halt without their skill, diplomacy, and patience. Please give a round of applause for our incredible staff. And I also want to acknowledge the Duke staff and the critical but often invisible work that they have done to make this day possible for you. Someone set up all these chairs. Someone set up the tents and tables outside. Someone installed all the AV and video equipment, and someone will clean up after us. We may not see them, but we can give them a round of applause and thanks for all that they do. Today, we are gathered to recognize the accomplishments of 148 Masters of Environmental Management students, 5 Master of Forestry students, and 29 International Master of Environmental Policy students. There are a number of dual degree students among our graduates. In addition to earning a Master's of Environmental Management degree, 5 are also earning their Master's of Forestry degree, for a total of 10 students earning the MF degree. 18 are earning the Master's of Business Administration degree. 1 is earning the Master of Engineering degree from Pratt. 3 are earning the Master of Public Policy degree. 2 are earning the Juris Doctorate degree. And 6 are earning the Master of City and Regional Planning from UNC. And there's all our Team UNC Duke folks right over there. I'm really loving the outfits. It's great. Also among the 182 graduating students are 12 students who earned their degree in our Duke Environmental Leadership Program, our distance learning MEM designed specifically for experienced working environmental professionals. We are also joined by 29 students pursuing the International Masters in Environmental Policy degree, a joint program with Duke University and Duke Kunshan University, and is also joint with the Sanford School of Public Policy here at Duke. These students spend 18 months in China and their last semester here in Durham with us. So needless to say, we have a lot to celebrate. And this is a joyous day where we are celebrating these amazing students. And so I want to tell all of you, you don't need to hold your applause or your whoop whoop. Whenever you are excited about your student crossing the stage, please feel free to share that joy loudly. To provide us a bit of inspiration on making the world a better place, I am really privileged to introduce our student speaker, Sydney Williams. The student speaker is elected from among the graduating MEM and MF students by their classmates to represent them and speak to you, our graduates and your guests, on behalf of the graduating class. As you will appreciate, it's quite an honor to be selected. Congratulations to Sydney Williams for being elected to share their comments with our graduates and our guests. Sydney, can you please join me at the podium? Let me tell you a little bit about awesome Sydney Williams. She is a proud Jamaican, Nicholas Scholar, which is our highest level of merit scholarship, and Master of Environmental Management candidate at the Nicholas School, concentrating in energy and the environment and data analytics and modeling. She's dedicated her life to the pursuit of climate justice, working to ensure that the most vulnerable communities have access to the resources and opportunities they need to thrive. At Duke, Sydney has served as Student Council President, leading Earth Day celebrations, and coordinating donation and volunteer efforts in response to Hurricane Helene in Western North Carolina. She also served as the lead program coordinator for the Diverse, Innovative, Vibrant Environmental Scholars Program, a mentorship initiative that connects alumni, graduate, and undergraduate students from underrepresented backgrounds. Sydney was recently honored with the Forever Duke Student Leadership Award, which recognizes graduating students who embody the university's highest values. Recipients are strong advocates for the Duke community, live out the principle of knowledge in the service of society, and leave Duke a better place than they found it. And I'm pleased to say you're joining a long tradition of Nicholas School students who've won that award. We're very proud of the contributions our students make to the broader Duke community. Beyond this, you can often hear her laughter echoing through the halls of Granger, see her playing tennis, or enjoying a peaceful walk around the Duke Pond. So without further ado, Sydney Williams.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being present here today. As I wrote this speech, I was wearing my Duke sweatshirt. In bold, it says 1838, the year Duke traces its history, and also the year slavery was abolished in Jamaica, my homeland. I've worn that sweatshirt countless of times, mostly while crying over our code, but now I see that number differently. One year, two histories, and now 187 years later, I stand here, a Jamaican woman graduating from that very institution. That's not coincidence, that's survival, that's full circle. You see, studying environmental management isn't just about sustainability and managing natural resources. It's about justice. It's about solving problems so the next generation doesn't carry the same weight. My ancestors were forced to work the land. I choose to study it and protect it. I wear that sweatshirt differently now, with pride and with purpose. as a legacy of freedom and a voice for the future. Before I go any further, I want to invite the Nicholas School class of 2025 to pause. Take a breath. I need to take a breath. Be in this moment. Celebrate how far you've come. Seriously, you deserve it. Especially if you've survived Peter and Pat's GIS labs, where just follow the instructions somehow means 6 different folders, 3 different projections, or a silent or loud existential crisis. We used to introduce ourselves like this. Hi, I'm Sydney Williams, MEM concentrating in energy and the environment and data analytics and modeling. That was our icebreaker, the start of connection. But over time, we talked about what drives us, what we love, what makes us stay up at night. We also had more fun. Like when Katie Maxwell running through Granger Hall in a full-on sun costume during Energy Week, spreading joy and vitamin D to everyone. Or the brutal trivia night hosted by Forestry, Ecology, and Diversity and Inclusion Clubs, where I learned that horseshoe crabs have 10 eyes. Madness. And then, before we knew it, we were building community. Small networks within big ones, connecting and supporting one another like mycelium beneath the surface, quietly speeding our growth. As class president, I got to see that bloom firsthand. From mixers to queer prom to Earth Day to the coastal and marine systems folk who lived at the Marine Lab, salutes to you. I hope you enjoyed the beach and all the incredible fieldwork you did. Our events reminded us that we are curious, passionate and joyous, and never alone in this work. But this master's degree has stretched us. I'll never forget doing Dahlia's energy modeling assignment on a late Friday night in Granger Hall, staring at Excel VBA code that refused to work until my friend Amber Wright leaned over and said, "We'll figure this out together." That's when I realized community is the algorithm. This isn't just a very pricey piece of paper. It's a receipt for studying ecosystems, marine systems, economic systems, energy systems, the list goes on. And realizing none of them work as well as they should. But don't worry, they told us we're the solution. No pressure. Yes, we hope this leads to a better paying job. Right, Mom and Dad? Because these loans, they're not paying themselves. We didn't come here just for a title or a salary. We came here because we care. And now we're stepping into a world that feels even more unpredictable than ever. We survived a pandemic. With the climate crisis worsening, we're witnessing wars and humanitarian crises from Ukraine to Palestine, and it's hard not to feel overwhelmed. But I leave you with this. In Jamaica, we say, "We're little but we talawa," which means we are small, but we are mighty. That's how I feel about the Nick School. We are a small but mighty school, a small but mighty cohort, a network of leaders in environmental management. And as someone from Jamaica, especially to the international students and people of color, I know what it feels like when feeling like a small fish in a big pond, to feel like you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. So if the world ever makes you feel small, if the work feels too heavy, remember you are Talawa. Your voice matters, your passion is purpose, and as we keep showing up with courage and compassion, you will help heal this world. And finally, to close, I have a few thank yous. To M. Ordonez and our student leaders, thank you. You've been the heartbeat of this place. To our professors, thank you for challenging us to expand our knowledge, sharpen our skills, and push boundaries to things that we never thought possible. To our friends, family, group mates, mentors, thank you for the late night Zooms, shared snacks, tears, and TikToks to get us through. To student services and Mary Beth with the food pantry emails that always hit at the right time. To custodial staff for running jokes with me as I'm walking from class to class, keeping our campus clean for us to do our best work. To the bus drivers, including Ant, who has always stopped while seeing me running to the bus stop a few too many times. To everyone here and to all the people that couldn't be with us here today, those who have passed or are unable to be here, we remember you, we love you, and we carry you with us. You are the bridges to our education. One love, one heart. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Thank you and congratulations again, class of 2025.
I've been at the Nicholas School 21 years, and the student body has never picked the wrong speaker, and this tradition continues. That was fantastic, Sydney. Thank you for sharing those thoughts with us. It is with immense pleasure that I now introduce you to our alumni keynote speaker, Dr. Lucas Joppa. Lucas is Senior Managing Director and Chief Sustainability Officer at Haveli, a technology-focused private equity firm where he oversees their sustainability and AI strategies across the operations and investments, including the firm's ambition to be net zero from Fund 1, an effort that includes the management firm as well as its portfolio companies. Previously, Lucas was Microsoft's first chief environmental scientist and then their first chief environmental officer, leading the development and execution of the company's sustainability strategy across its worldwide business, including Microsoft's historic carbon negative, water positive, and zero waste sustainability commitments, as well as the establishment of their AI for Earth initiative and development of their planetary computer platform. With a combined background in both environmental science and data science, Dr. Joppa is committed to using the power of technology to advance a growing movement to address the world's sustainability needs. Recognized by Fortune magazine in its 40 under 40 list, Lucas is a uniquely accredited voice for sustainability in the tech industry. He's been recognized as one of the world's most highly cited researchers and serves on the boards of organizations dedicated to environmental sustainability around the world. Lucas remains an active scientist, speaking frequently on issues related to technology, artificial intelligence, environmental science, sustainability, and ESG. Along with his PhD in ecology from Duke University, Lucas holds a BS in wildlife ecology from the University of Wisconsin and is a former Peace Corps volunteer in Malawi. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce you to Dr. Lucas Joppa. Welcome, Lucas.
All right. Thank you, Dean Benier. That was very kind. A few things. I just want to be clear before I get started that I actually asked to go first before the student speaker, so I wouldn't have to follow that, but I was rejected. So my guest speaker prerogative didn't work out there, but I do give you permission. I also did not know that this was not your real graduation, that you have to wait until Sunday, but I give you permission with my power to party tonight like it's the real thing. So please enjoy it. It's extremely, extremely well-deserved. And it's also a huge honor for me to be here to share this with you because for reasons I won't go into, I didn't get to go to my graduation. And so this is my first time in robes. It was something that I've regretted. But now that I've been in these robes for an hour, I'm realizing maybe I didn't miss out on that much. I'm hot, and this tassel keeps going in my mouth. And the last thing I would just say is we all have our recurring nightmares. The first thing that I saw when I walked in was this contingent over here. And I panicked. I thought, did I show up at the UNC graduation? I was going to just quietly sneak out the back, but then I saw a few friendly faces. So anyway, this isn't good because I've already digressed a few times, so I'll try to get on track. And I thought I would start my remarks here by saying that I was actually asked to come here and provide some comments that would really direct, challenge, and motivate you all. as you head off to the next phase of your careers. Careers that are focused on solving some of our species' greatest challenges. And, that will, if successful, will somehow, some way, for the first time, provide society the answers for how it will begin to decouple economic growth from environmental degradation. But then this morning, I was out for a run for the first time in 15 years. I've run more since then, but my first time around the Duke Golf Course. And I was thinking about what I wanted to say today. And I started to doubt the assignment. Because I started to realize the obvious. You all went to Duke. You all studied at the Nicholas School. You all know the science. You know the economics. You all know what's on the line. You know what needs to be done. And so I don't think I need to come here to try to direct you. I think you're already focusing on the right things. I don't feel the need to challenge you. I'm sure you put enough pressure on yourselves already. And I don't think I need to motivate you. I'm sure the esteemed faculty here have taught you that action is the best antidote to anxiety. Instead, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to reassure you, to simply reassure you that it's okay that you might not have all the answers. Nobody does. That it's okay that you might not have it all figured out. Nobody has. That it's okay that you actually might not be able to solve all of the world's problems all by yourself. Nobody can. And that it's okay to sometimes struggle with finding the balance between pondering the peril of failure and the promise of success. Everyone who does what you do struggles with that balance. And I feel at least a tiny bit qualified to give you that reassurance because, as you heard, like you, I too graduated from the Nicholas School. I too came here to chase my dreams. And while I didn't physically sit in that chair, I did, at least metaphorically, and I wondered how it was all going to work out. But unlike you, I actually, you might be able to tell, have a few years separating me from my graduation. And with hindsight, I can confidently say that you made the right choice. You made the right choice in coming to Duke. You made the right choice in studying at the Nicholas School. And you are making the right choice in pursuing careers focused on addressing the major environmental and economic issues of today. Because the world needs you to do what you do now more than ever, whether it's ready to admit it or not. Because you are entering the workforce, and trust me, you will enter the workforce. You are entering the workforce at an absolutely historic time. Because for the past 200 years or more, society really has basically operated by borrowing from our environmental future to pay for our economic present. That loan really is now coming due, and fair or not, it really is up to you, me, us, to figure out how to pay that back. We really are, as Dean Rainier said, the ones that have to figure out somehow how to stabilize our climate systems, sustainably feed a human population of 8 to 10 billion people, ensure resilient water supplies, and stem a pretty catastrophic and ongoing loss of biodiversity. And there's one thing that you should believe when I say it today, which is that you can trust me. I am the laziest one in this room. So when I say trust me, I've waited. No one else is coming to do this for us. This is up to us. And so now each of us has to figure out in our own way how we're going to contribute. Are we going to focus on the science, the philanthropy, the business, the policy and regulatory side of things? Are we going to focus on building things from scratch or transforming existing institutions and products? Are we fascinated with molecules or mitochondria or species or space or food or fuels or fiber? Are we engineers or ecologists or something in between? Now, the good news is at the societal level, it actually doesn't really matter what you choose. We need all the people doing all the things. There is no single silver bullet to fixing the relationship between people and the planet that they call home. It just matters that you do something, and that the something that you do is a mix between what you're best at and what you're most passionate about. But the bad news is, everything sets up with the good news and the bad news. The bad news is that you'll be constantly surrounded by people who disagree with what I just said. Some of them will be opposed to the very premise of your work. They don't believe there is a problem, or they don't believe that people are the cause of it. Those people I actually don't worry about that much. You're too well trained to be put off by their criticism. But there's another category of people I worry a lot more about. Your people. the people who are working to solve the same problems as you, the people on your side, but the people who believe that this is a zero-sum game, the people who believe that if you aren't working on what they are working on, that you're part of the problem and not the solution. And you need a way to handle that. You need, in the words of my PhD advisor, Stuart Pym, you can see him in the red there, to quote, know your mind. Because if you don't, you'll spend all of your time battling your own doubt and clawing your way through your own confusion, and you'll struggle to ever make progress on anything of importance. And I remember the first time Stuart told me I needed to know my mind. I was losing an argument, which was very rare in my opinion, but very frequent in his, with Stuart. I was losing it pretty badly about my interpretation of an analysis I just finished. And in truth, I actually didn't know what to make of the results. And so I did what most first-year PhD students do, and they go ask a bunch of fourth-year PhD students. And as you might expect, I got a range of opinions. And when I discussed them with Stuart, he had a different interpretation, which he sometimes does, and which I push back on, which I'm known to do. And when I did that, Stuart asked me what I actually thought the results meant. And unfortunately for me in my argument, I couldn't really form a coherent answer. Because my thinking was really just a mix of other people's thinking and my own uncertainty. And I'll never forget what Stuart said that day. He said, well, at least I know what I think. And that's when he told me I needed to go take some time and learn to know my mind. And I think that's really all that any of us can ask of anyone. And so that's all I wish for you as you embark on the next phase of your careers. And of course, a lot of you already do know your minds, and some of you don't. But at the very least, I thought it might be interesting to understand how I thought about things when I sat where you sit today, about how I learned to know my mind and how the worldview I created guided the decisions I made, for better or worse, in my career as an environmental scientist, corporate operator, and technology investor, which nobody seems to understand. So maybe by the end of this, you and I both will. Because just like I did when I sat where you are today, you have a lot of decisions ahead. And I found that it helps to have a process. So let's start with an important decision I made, the decision to come to Duke and the Nicholas School. And the seeds of that decision were planted when I was a kid growing up in northern Wisconsin, which is maybe why it seems so hot here right now. So in Wisconsin, we love to say, oh, it gets hot in Wisconsin. It doesn't. Where I spent most of my time avoiding homework and wandering around in the woods. And I was really kind of just filled with a sense of wonder about how the natural world worked. And then as I got older, an increasing sense of worry about the impacts that people were having on it. And then my decision to come to Duke was really strengthened during my time at UW-Madison, where I studied wildlife ecology and learned the fundamentals of conservation biology, and then solidified during my time, as you heard, in Malawi as a Peace Corps volunteer. And the reason for that is because the more I saw and the more I learned, the more weird I felt like the world was. I think some of you probably have felt that before as well. And so I came to Duke to figure out why. I also came to Duke to try to help me get a job. And when I left, I had, against all my own expectations and those of friends and family for sure, I had achieved both of those things. Although, this is important, neither were anything like I thought they would be when I started. Because when I came to Duke, I simply assumed that the world worked in rational ways, and I just needed to learn what they were. I assumed that the things that I thought were weird about the world were instead logical, and that I was the crazy one. And if I just went to school some more and read some more books, it would all start to make sense. And spoiler alert, it did start to make sense, but unfortunately, at least for me, the answers sure weren't satisfying. Because the more I learned, the more convinced I became that I wasn't crazy, that maybe I was the normal one. And I think maybe some of you feel this way as well when you look across the world, that maybe it was the rest of the world that was mad. Because I'd started studying what economists call the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurships, and how they combine to form the foundations of modern economies. And I learned that for most modern economies have developed by really kind of operating as if the supply of land and labor were infinite, right? Birth rates were rising, populations were growing, natural resources were plentiful, and our climates were stable. And all that land and all that labor and all that stability allowed us to do incredible things. We invented new forms of capital that increased worker productivity that we then put to work to explore, discover, extract, consume, and discard ever more natural resources. And so the wheels were turning faster. The graph was going up and to the right. Life was good. This is about when you were born. And this happened so incredibly quickly, and it all happened so incredibly recently in the lifetimes of your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your parents, and you. But I also learned that 2 of those 4 factors were starting to crack, right? And this is what you've learned about for the past 2 years. Land and labor are in decline. Natural resources no longer plentiful. Birth rates are falling. Climate's no longer stable. We can no longer brute force our way to economic growth. The past no longer predicts the future. And so, yes, the world feels weird. And people are starting to panic. The evidence is all around. You read the news, right? Desperation, extremism, geopolitical unrest, us versus others, mine versus yours. And for society, this is pretty scary. And for those of us who hold higher ideals, it really sucks, which is a word that I don't know if I'm supposed to use or not. But anyway, I think it's like mid on the banned list. But for anyone who has studied these things, it's actually extremely far from surprising. But then as I learned more about this, what I realized is that as strange as it might sound, the more I clarified the challenge, the calmer I became. Because I could realize that I could use these 4 factors of production to structure my decision-making. In other words, that's how I learned to know my mind. Because what I decided is that for growth to continue in a world of declining land and labor, then capital and entrepreneurship were going to have to pick up the slack. And I realized that that just might be possible. Because the most powerful capital of today's economy is composed of the computational hardware and software that sucks in electrons, flips bits in the middle, and spits photons out along cables that can transmit information at the speed of light around the world. And in that magical economic box, incredible value is created. And this, too, is all extremely new. The internet didn't even exist when I was born. Search as we know it didn't even exist when I was in high school, and cloud computing didn't exist when I was here at Duke. I still remember the arguments that I got into with the Duke supercomputing cluster, just trying to run some parallel programs for one of Jim Clark's classes. Story about Jim Clark. This isn't in my script, by the way. But all I remember about Jim Clark's Bayesian hierarchical modeling class is that we had one quiz, and it had one question on it, and I answered it. Well, I thought I did. And I got a 0. But Jim, being Jim, had turned it into a smiley face and wrote, "Nice effort." Which I thought was like funny, but also pretty crushing, right? Back on track. Okay, so I realized that this actually had the potential to be the most resource-light form of economic growth we'd ever produced. Because our traditional forms of electricity generation were inefficient, dirty, and catastrophic for the climate. But we were also rapidly developing something previously unheard of, new energy technologies that were not only superior in price and performance, but were also infinitely renewable and didn't destroy our climate. And I realized that if we could put this all together and decarbonize our electricity grids while racing to electrify, digitize, and potentially virtualize as much of our physical economy as possible, we just might have the chance to create the net zero carbon economy that the world's scientists and governments all agree that we have to do, but which nobody seems to be all that bothered to achieve. All while simultaneously optimizing the use of the world's natural resources and providing the efficiency tools the shrinking labor force is going to need to continue delivering economic growth. But I also understood that while this was maybe all possible, it wasn't exactly inevitable. It wasn't even probable. It needed people to push. And the reason I'm telling you this is because ever since I've used that framework as my own personal career counselor. Because it told me I would need to understand natural systems and how they work, technology and how to build and deploy it, and finance and how to use it to build economic value in vibrant markets. And that framework that I just walked through was why I actually didn't complain that much, although he probably has different memories, when Stuart shot down my dream dissertation to do field work in East Africa. That's what I wanted to do. And maybe he didn't use these exact words, but he told me it was time to sit my butt down in a chair and learn the fundamentals of modern ecology, by which he meant computer science, software programming, and computational statistics. And it was what gave me the courage to abandon my long-held dream, career aspiration, to pursue a tenure-track faculty position when I got an unexpected job offer from Microsoft to join their Blue Sky research arm as a computational ecologist, because I knew I needed to understand tech from inside the beast. And it was why I decided to leave what I had decided was my dream job in Microsoft Research for a corporate job as Microsoft's chief environmental scientist to build this program that Dean Benier described called AI for Earth, because I knew we had to get these solutions out of the lab and into industry. And it was why I left that dream job to become Microsoft's chief environmental officer, to do the things that Dean Benier described, build a carbon negative, water positive, zero waste program, to help build the programs that created Microsoft as one of the largest climate investors, renewable energy and carbon removal buyers, and more. Because I knew it wasn't just what tech was used for, but also how it was sourced, operated, and managed at end of life. I knew the world needed someone to prove that it was possible to do this all at a large scale in a large company. And then it was what convinced me to leave my job at Microsoft for my current role in private equity, where we're trying to build the first net zero portfolio in the industry, and we're investing in sustainability software solutions that the world needs. Because I knew that we needed to show that you could profitably normalize net zero, and do that across a whole host of companies if we were ever going to convince the world that this was a repeatable act. Now, I am getting to the end. And I don't tell you all this because I think that you're all really that interested in my career. Trust me, I'm not even interested in my career anymore. I was when I was sitting where you were. And I'm guessing, and I'm actually hoping that you're way more interested in your own careers than in mine or any of ours sitting up here. And I don't tell you this because I think my worldview is right. I'm not trying to convince you of this worldview that I walked through. I'm sure many of you are sitting here wondering how I actually managed to graduate from Duke when I'm still so wrong about so much. But that's okay, because if I was in a place with as many smart people as I am today, and we all agreed on everything, I'd be extremely, extremely worried. Because at the end of the day, all of us in our own way need to learn to be confident in our own ideas, but accepting of the ideas of others, if for no other than a selfish reason that on the off chance any one of us is wrong, we're going to need someone else to have been right. And instead, the reason I really tell you all this is because I'm confident that without a deep sense of curiosity about the world, I never would have taken the first step on my career path. And without a firm worldview, right or wrong, I never would have had to make the courage to make the decisions that I did. Because I know it sounds pretty rote, this, then that, then this. But at each step of the way, for me, those decisions were terrifying. Each step I was worried I was making the wrong choice. People told me I was letting them down. People told me I didn't know what I was doing. They told me that I was unqualified for the role. They told me that I would fail. But I trusted the process, and for better or worse, I still do. And so as you move on from Duke, all that I ask is that you develop your own theory of change that can guide you through your own tough decisions, one that will keep you calm, cool, and collected in the face of what I can guarantee you will only be increasing craziness over the coming years. And so if you have one today, that's great. And if you don't, I encourage you to spend some time writing one down. I mean, literally, like I did, write it down and read it and see if it makes sense. And then when you feel confident that you don't know your own mind, I encourage you to work hard to be around others who do as well. Because the best advice I ever got came from my mom, who once said that interesting people are interested. And so my parting wish for you is that you remain interested in the world and in others, so that others may find your ideas interesting, and together, you, they, we, can all work on making the world a little less weird. So, congratulations, class of 2025. I'll see you at the party.
Thank you, Lucas, for those inspiring words. And Now is the time you've all been waiting for. The recognition of the degree candidates. We will recognize the Masters of Environmental Management and Masters of Forestry students first, followed by our IMEP students. There are 8 program areas within the MEM, plus our Duke Environmental Leadership MEMs. We will begin with Business and the Environment, followed by students in the Coastal and Marine Systems area, which you will recognize because they have the beautiful stoles that have marine-themed things on them. Most of those students have spent their second year at the Marine Lab in Beaufort, just about 3 hours east of Durham. After what we lovingly call the CAM students, we will have the Community Engagement and Environmental Justice students, woo, which we refer to as SIEGE, and then Ecotoxicology and Environmental Health, Energy, woo, okay, I'm going to stop and let you woo after each one. All right, Energy and the Environment, Environmental Analytics and Modeling, Environmental Economics and Policy, woo, okay, Terrestrial and Freshwater Environments. Oh, wow, okay. Some of our students are earning both the MEM and MF, and they will be presented in the group with their MEM concentration. We'll then recognize our Dell MEM graduates, followed by our Masters of Forestry graduates, and then the IMEP. I will now turn the microphone over to Assistant Dean Cynthia Peters, who has had the honor of serving this role, I think, my entire time at Duke, and we're so grateful for her because she actually gets the pronunciation of people's names correct. So Cynthia Peters is going to present the students, and with that, I turn it over to you, Cindy.
Thank you. The first group to be presented is Business and Environment. Will the first group of students please stand and prepare to get to the stage? If we would ask the faculty presenting them, Professors Emerson, May, and von Windheim, to please come to the stage. The first candidate, Esme Kai. Irene Chang, also earning an MBA. Isabella Delgado. Rochelle Martin. Jordan Alexis Mullins, MBA. Lauren Ng. Elizabeth Aaron Olson. Noah Price, MBA. Jin Yu, MBA. Michael Aaron Zorger, MBA. Ji Wan Hyun, MBA. Irfan Du. Jen Ling Zhang. Morgan Foster. Maria Alejandra Jaramillo, MBA. An Ran Lee. Rachel Madeline Pike, Master of City and Regional Planning, Climate Change Science and Application Certificate. The next group to be presented is Coastal and Marine Systems. Will Professors Gill, Halpin, Zachary Johnson, Dave Johnston, McAdoo, Murray, Reed, Richoff, Schultz, Smith, Burden, and Wong please come to the stage? Allison Ripley Applin, GIS Certificate. Margaret Manning, GIS Certificate. Nusrat Noor, GIS Certificate. Elizabeth Rose Sachakovsky, GIS Certificate. Erin Kathleen Ansbro, GIS Certificate. Fiona Elizabeth Kelly, GIS Certificate. Maya Heath Griffith, GIS Certificate. Alejandra Rios, GIS Certificate. Marisa Alba Naclerio. Haley Kaplan. David Mohachi Little, GIS Certificate. Hope Liu. GIS certificate. Sorry, Hope. Grace D'Angeli Randall. Wentao Shui. Louisa Pitney. Emma Catherine Byer, GIS certificate. Caitlin Tack, GIS certificate. Desa Carey Bolger, GIS certificate. Madison Wurst, GIS certificate. Chris Hackman. Brooke Lynn Elswag. Tawny Valdez Rivas, GIS certificate. Han Jing Zhang. The next group to be presented is Community Engagement and Environmental Justice. Will Professors Heffernan, McAdoo, and Shapiro Garza come to the stage? Samantha Paola White Murillo. Ziyi Chen. Samantha Lamb. Brooke Rose, International Development Policy Certificate. Bryn Rothbart, International Development Policy Certificate. Kai Lok Tron. Sophia Henna Maria Valkenberg. Will Professor Cagle please come to the stage to recognize ecosystem science and conservation students? Go ahead. Emma Elizabeth Childs, also earning the Master of Forestry and a GIS certificate. Brian Donaldo Graybill Torres, MBA and GIS certificate. The next group is Ecotoxicology and Environmental Health. Will Professors Lauer and Stapleton please come to the stage? Anna Catherine Cullen. Jo Wen Yu. Students in Energy and Environment are next. Will Professors Benier, Emerson, Tim Johnson, Limo, and Patino Echeverri please come to the stage? Eli Walker Schulman, MBA. Keanu Valibia, Master of Public Policy. Anissa Zarif. Fiona Blue Bolte Bradhurst, GIS certificate. Stephen Rasco Flay Jr., MBA. Rosalind Hu, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Certificate. Hiranmai Nataraj. Zachary Roberts. Omama Shah. Nicholas Sorokin, MBA. Kei-Chin Su. Prisha Tiwari. Elizabeth Tucker, MBA. Prithviraj Ravre. Xin Yi Wen, Master of Engineering. Matthew Wofford, MBA. Morgan Sierra Alexander, Master of Public Policy. Andriana Chow. Ji Gao. Ah Young Kim. Chen Jia Liu. Vanshika Mittal. Xu Wang. Vincent James Watley. Sydney Williams. Adam James Cowie Haskell. Shubhangi Gupta. Marla Harvey, MBA. Kara Patricia Kuskavir. Brian Mulu Mutua, International Development Policy Certificate. Aishwarya Shekhar Patankar. Pablo Salazar Armea. Will Professors Emerson, Halpin, Hoffman, Lima, and McAdoo please come to present the environmental analytics and modeling students? Winona Jorg Mendoza Kuraming. Kendall Ames Barton, GIS certificate. Sophie Hayes Moyer. Jasmine Pritchett, Master of City and Regional Planning. Xinyi Zhou, Climate Change Science and Application Certificate. Deng Qizhi, Emma Kaufman, GIS Certificate. Justin Maynard, GIS Certificate. Samantha Pace, Master of City and Regional Planning. Gabriela Charniak. The next group to be presented is Environmental Economics and Policy. Will Professors Albright, Cagle, DeMattia, Doyle, Johnson, Mayer, Murray, Shapiro-Garza, and Vincent please come to the stage? John Kenneth Rooney, MBA. Chelsea Nielsen, JD, Climate Change Science and Applications. Joel Richard Beaudry. Andrew Dominguez. Kathleen Bride Maxwell. Jackson Ronald. Brianna Kirsten Sumter. Dima Zlenko, MBA. Ray Meng Wang. Tullis Quit Davis. Caroline Christoph. Emily Ordonez. Christopher Watt. Kirsten Elizabeth Susan Taylor, Master of City and Regional Planning. Justin Benjamin Depew, MBA. Allie Marie Finkbeiner, GIS certificate. The next group to be presented, Terrestrial and Freshwater Environments, by Professors Jim Clark, Chada, Cagle, Doyle, Gill, Heffernan, Shapiro Garza, and Weinthal. Creaney Way. Shi Zhang, GIS certificate. Eric Newton. Samantha Lynn Pashulo Boychuk, GIS certificate. Sarah Jean Sussman, GIS certificate. Jordan Haber, Master of City and Regional Planning, GIS certificate. Ellen Olivia Nirenblatt, GIS certificate. Emily Siegel. Jennifer Lee McNeil, GIS certificate. Claire Elizabeth Pica, GIS certificate. Christine Ann Lister. Candela Serpa Tejera, Master in City and Regional Planning. Barrett Dollar. Yue Chen Huang, GIS certificate. Matthew Fitzpatrick Morris, MBA. Caroline Hope Cameron, Climate Change Science and Application certificate. Rachel Elizabeth Weaver, International Development Policy certificate. We'll now present the graduates in our Duke Environmental Leadership Program to be recognized by Professors Chada, Emerson, Johnston, Asilupo, and Patino Echeverri. Eleanor Leibfried Harrigan. Nicole Honor Benoit. Shannon Bennett. Holly Jean Bisbee. William Scott Addis. Tess Benjamin. Oh, sorry. Tess Benjamin. Rebecca Elliott. Brittany Lee Schalk. Ana Tabueno Ruddy. Sarah Cassis Isaac. Will the Master of Forestry students please prepare to come to the stage to be recognized by Professors Cagle and Vincent. Felicia Dvorak, GIS certificate. Skylar Fika Getzel, also earning the MEM. Brooke Sierra Hemphill. Sadie Horner, GIS certificate. Gianna Torrey. Catherine Rose. Now we're going to present the students in the International Master of Environmental Policy to be presented by Professors Ewing and Cui. Jifan Cui. Nan Gao. Jackie Liu. Katie Liu. Yinan Lu. Felix Mergenhagen. Huacheng Mo. Xinji Mu. Jir Pan. Ming Zhang Pan. Yuhan Peng. Chan Lei Yi. Wei Jia Ran. Stephen Rhine. Margaret Alice Shoup. Shijia Tang. Di Li Wang. Jiang Zhou Wang. Xu Han Wang. Yanqing Wang. Jin Jin Young. Jin Chuan Ye. Bo Lin Zhang. Zuo Cheng Zhang. Xu Jia Zhong. Yichuan Zhou. Zhonglong Shou. Qiu Tzu Yan.
everybody, I present to you the Nicholas School of the Environment class of 2025. Woo! And now I welcome to the podium my colleague, Tim Johnson.
I will add my congratulations too. And by the way, I told you the time would pass quickly. Okay. Hello. I'm Tim Johnson, the Senior Associate Dean for Academics, Professor of Practice in Energy Environment, and Chair of the Energy Environment Program, not necessarily in that order. It gives me great pleasure, though, to announce the Lynn McGuire Award for Excellence in Teaching and Mentoring of Professional Students. This award was established in 2020 to recognize the dedicated career of Professor Lynn McGuire, who championed our professional degree students, who had high expectations for our students, and who held the school accountable for the education our students receive. So I am thrilled to announce that Dr. John Verdon, Dr. John Verdon is Assistant Professor of the Practice in the Division of Marine Science and Conservation, the Director of the Ocean and Coastal Policy Program at the Nicholas Institute for Energy, Environment, and Sustainability, and has been awarded this year's Lynn McGuire Award for Excellence in Teaching, Mentoring, and Professional Students. The script now says, John, would you please join me on the stage? Sorry. Okay, more important, the students in nominating John praised him for making dense policy concepts engaging and accessible, for connecting theory to real-world policy applications. They also emphasized his enthusiasm and conviviality, noting that he is, and I quote, eager to involve students in interesting and independent research projects, and I quote again, has always been exceptionally kind, easygoing, cheerful, and generous with his time and knowledge. Additionally, students highlighted John's role in guiding the student organization Oceans at Duke and the Plastic Pollution Working Group, which this year created opportunities for students to collaborate with the Office of Climate and Sustainability here at Duke and help solve plastic waste problems across Duke University. Please congratulate me. Please congratulate John. Please join me in congratulating John, is what I meant to say, on this well-deserved recognition. We'll just continue. Yeah. Don't panic. Well, if you can hear me over the fire alarm, maybe we'll continue. So next, I have the pleasure to announce the winner of the Karen Kirchhoff Staff Award for Excellence in Mentoring Students. This award was established in 2023 to recognize the incredible career of the late Karen Kirchhoff, the longtime assistant dean and director of the school's Career and Professional Development Center. Karen was a true champion of our students and alumni and influenced the careers of thousands of students during her 27 years at the Nicholas School. This award allows students to recognize the considerable efforts of full-time staff who consistently invest their time and attention in mentoring students. It gives me great pleasure to announce that Courtney Sullivan I think you drowned out the fire alarm. Courtney is Assistant Director for Employer Relations with the Student Services Career and Professional Development Center and has been awarded the Karen Kirchhoff Staff Award for Excellence in Mentoring Students. And it says here that you can join me on the stage, Courtney. So, nominators highlighted Courtney's approachability and efforts to cultivate students' self-esteem. She has this is a student quote from one of the nominating letters, she has an innate ability to connect with students, understand their aspirations, and help them identify the right pathways to achieve their goals. Her mentoring style is both supportive and empowering, fostering the confidence students need to pursue their interests in the environmental sector. We'll assume that was for you and not the fire alarm. Students also praised her work providing activities focused on skill building and professional networking. And I quote again, she organizes career panels and collaborates with student organizations to host discussions tailored to specific interests. These initiatives not only strengthen our networking skills, but also foster a sense of community among students and alumni. So please join me in offering Courtney our heartfelt congratulations.
Hey everybody, I'm Grant Murray and I'm the Associate Dean for Professional Programs, Associate Professor of Marine Policy, and the Coastal and Marine Systems Co-Chair. I have the pleasure today to announce the winners of our two final awards. First, the Duke University Alumni Association recognizes graduating students from across campus with the Forever Duke Student Leadership Award. Students who win this award embody the Forever Duke spirit in their service to the university. Recipients are individuals of high integrity who have done great things not only at Duke, but for Duke, and who exhibit qualities worthy of the award. They are strong advocates for the Duke community. They embody Duke's guiding principle of knowledge and service to society, and they are leaving Duke a better place than they found it. It is my extreme pleasure to announce to you that both Keanu Bolivia and Sydney Williams have been recognized as Forever Duke Award winners. Please join me on stage to receive your certificate. Congratulations. Okay, next, the Verlis L. Fisher Award for Academic Achievement is awarded annually to the Master of Environmental Management or Mastery of Forestry student who has demonstrated the highest academic achievement in the graduating class. Academic achievement includes consideration of not only GPA, but also academic achievement in the following areas: demonstrated leadership, initiative, and engagement within academic and/or co-curricular settings, mastery of academic knowledge, and a commitment to intellectual growth, impact of the student's academic achievements on NSOE or Duke University, character, integrity, and ethical conduct, and a collaborative spirit in the pursuit of academic achievement. It is our tradition not to inform the recipients in advance, so this will be a surprise for them as well. As I call your name, I invite you to come to the stage. This year, I am pleased to recognize 3 Verlis Fisher Award recipients, in no particular order. The first Verlis Fisher Award recipient is Andrew Dominguez. Described as trustworthy, easy to be around, and a natural leader, we are proud to recognize Andrew for his outstanding contributions to both the academic and cultural fabric of the MEM program. Andrew is recognized by faculty, staff, and his peers for his integrity, professional demeanor, and ability to connect with others across cultures and disciplines. At a fisheries conference in Malaysia, Andrew quickly became a valued member of the group, seamlessly building relationships with colleagues that had been decades in the making. His leadership is evident not only in social and professional settings, but also through his academic performance and service. Several faculty members who have worked with Andrew across multiple contexts, research, independent studies, coursework, and travel, consistently highlight his high ethical standards, academic excellence, and personal resilience. Andrew has taken on diverse challenges with drive and composure, thriving in courses ranging from quantitative methods to concept-driven seminars. His strength of character, depth of intellect, and humble, collaborative spirit make him exceptionally deserving of recognition. Wherever he chooses to lead next, Andrew is certain to have a lasting and meaningful impact. Next, I would like to invite Texas Christian Taylor Hackman to join me on the stage. Chris was recognized for his academic brilliance, originality, and intellectual independence, standing out even among the top academic achievers at Duke. Chris has excelled across a wide range of disciplines, consistently earning top marks in demanding coursework in PhD-level economics classes. In interdisciplinary settings that require analytical rigor and creative problem-solving, such as his course on fisheries policy, Chris demonstrated deep intellectual curiosity, precision in thinking, and a drive to connect theory with real-world challenges. What sets Chris apart is not only his academic strength, but the originality and ambition of his research. His master's project built a novel, dynamic model of recreational fisheries management that wove together multiple types of analytics. An approach that is breaking new ground in the field. His insights have already impressed national audiences, and his ideas will continue to move forward. I am thrilled that Chris will continue his studies here at Duke in the PhD program in environmental policy. Beyond academics, Chris is a driven and articulate writer, presenter, and recreational angler. His professionalism, strong organizational skills, and consulting experience make him well-positioned for a future at the intersection of research, policy, and practice. Chris's management concentration of study as a Master of Environmental Management student was Environmental Economics and Policy, with environment concentration of coastal and marine systems. Congratulations, Chris. And finally, we are proud to also recognize Kirsten Elizabeth Susan Taylor. Exemplifies the highest standards of academic excellence, leadership, and community engagement. Duly enrolled in Duke's MEM program and UNC's Master of City and Regional Planning program, Kat has set the standards for interinstitutional excellence. Her coursework and professionalism are deeply integrated, consistently applying classroom knowledge to real-world challenges. Kat's master's project, conducted in collaboration with the Lumbee tribe, addressed climate resilience and geospatial data management at the tribe's cultural center. She and her MP partner led research on flood risks and developed tools to support the tribe's environmental planning, setting a strong precedent for future tribal partnerships. As highlighted by our nominator, in the classroom, Kat was noted for her engagement and critical thinking. She was a leader in courses like environmental decision analysis and was selected as a global urbanization fellow at UNC, where she co-developed teaching modules on planning in the Global South. Her summer internship with the Nature Conservancy in Lima, Peru, further demonstrated her ability to work cross-culturally and apply technical skills in service of indigenous communities. Across her academic and professional work, Kat is known for her integrity, thoughtfulness, and drive. She is admired by faculty and peers alike and represents the very best of the Nicholas School. Kat's MEM concentration was Environmental Economics and Policy, and she also earned a certificate in Community-Based Environmental Management. And, as noted, Kat also received a master's degree in City and Regional Planning from the University of North Carolina. Congratulations, Kat.
Oops, there goes the, all right. I'll get it later. I think we're at the end, friends. Before I make these very brief closing remarks, this is only the second year where we're going to recess. So I just want to remind everybody what will happen. All right, we will lead off the stage this way. The faculty will follow us. When the faculty are done, somebody will be there to guide you to follow us. There is a wonderful reception outside, and so once the students have all recessed, we welcome their friends and family to come and join us. I want us again to thank our amazing staff who worked to create all of our ceremonies this weekend. This is my third of 5, so we're doing great so far. Will each staff member please stand and wave, because both of you are standing anyway. I see you waving. Yay. You guys might not know this, but we start planning for this like in December. So this is a really important event. We know how important it is to you and to your family, and we take it seriously, and I'm grateful for all the staff who help us pull this off. Before I call an official end, I just want to mention that I already did this part. I did this first. Never mind. We're going to recess. We'll skip ahead. Graduates, please stand as you extend a round of applause to your family, friends, and loved ones who got you through this. All right. That is it, my friends. You are the class of 2025 from the School of the Environment, the best School of the Environment, the Nicholas School of the Environment. Congratulations.